Next question that I have is in regards to education, and actually I've got several cards that are very similar. And I'm going to kind of touch on some of the points, and perhaps we can draw enough of a question out of it to answer appropriately. But people are wondering why we have an education committee. If education policy changes are being made without the education committee, and why it is that a school funding bill is being cluttered with policy issues that were not debated before the hearing, and the fact that all of this was kind of introduced at the 11th hour. So where was the education committee involved in all of this? Why were there policy issues in the funding bill? And why were they added at what was considered the 11th hour? And if you, I've got the cards close,
Sure.
you need some help.
Sure. Part of the legislative process, it's probably the ugly part of the legislative process. The due process piece was actually heard in the House, I believe, last year as part of the Public Negotiation Act. So that was heard. It was not worked, but it was heard. And as I understand, the piece that applies just for K through 12 was extrapolated from that bill that was heard in the House. That's all I know about that. It was heard. It is a bill. It's called the Public Negotiation Act. It's much bigger, much more far-reaching, I think, than what was intended with the amendment on the floor at the 9th hour. Education Committee, I don't sit on the Education Committee. I'm not sure exactly what they discuss, in great detail. I know that there is not to speak for all of them, but there is a concern because of the financial issues that we have regarding education because of Gannon, that we were looking at policy issues as a way to address some of the, I should say, underlying issues like school choice that were appropriate to bring to the bill. And legislators can do that. And they can have amendments drawn up at the 9th hour. And there's an up and down vote on them. And that's just the way the process works. Like it or not.
Can I just kind of supplement that by saying that the Gannon decision was not a purely fiscal decision. There was also included in that policy dealing with the Rose standards for measuring the adequacy question of education. So when we're addressing a court decision that is both policy and fiscal, that's what you have to do, is approach both sides of it, both the policy and the fiscal.